with all that said, what I'm trying to say here is that I believe I'm somewhat qualified to talk about this session on open source. So I'm Omkar Prabhune. I am currently a computer science junior in my third year. I am especially interested in natural language processing and anything open source. I have been selected as an upcoming intern at Deutsche Bank, and before this, I have participated in GSOC with Apertium, as you've mentioned. In my second year, I've also experimented with coding competitions such as CodeShare, Fleetwood, and so on. I participated in GSOC 2021 as a participant with Apertium, a natural language-based organization. My project there was to create a web-based extension for their API service and to include a few more features for the same. Even post that, I've started my own personal project, Junior, and I am an active maintainer for the project on GitHub. So open source. What is open source? Open source is basically any software that has its source code revealed to the public. You may or may not be able to contribute to it, but that's the gist of it. Open source मतलब basically किसी और का project है जिसमें हम भी contribute कर रहे हैं. It can be bigger projects such as Flutter, नहीं तो Django, इसके बारे में बोल सकते हैं. तो अपने छोटे projects भी होते हैं कि a simple project that you worked on for college but you wish to open source later on, or even any project that you simply uploaded on GitHub at some point, it counts as open source. Open source can be said to be the bedrock of computing, just in general. I'll explain this through a couple of examples. Any web developers or anyone who experiments with APIs or anything in general will be intimately familiar with the tool curl, CURL. You use this basically to ping any website, to ping any API, to get your response and view it as a JavaScript object. And it's a terminal command line. It's a small thing, but it's incredibly important for any web-based application, testing anything. I only recently came to find out that this curl, it is not an operating system command, but it's an open source project maintained by hundreds of maintainers and also sponsored by several corporate sponsors. But this is just a small example. A much larger example would be that of Linux, the operating system I am on right now, and the operating system that most servers run on today. But even if that's not as familiar to you, then every single programming language in existence, C++, Python, C, assembly, everything, those are open source as well. So right down to everything that we do in computing, open source is an integral part, even if we don't notice it ourselves. What can be your possible roles in this ecosystem? You can be a contributor in open source, where you contribute to projects, you find projects that you like, you try to add additional features, you guide the community. That is an active and an encouraged role in open source, which is again very respected and the one you will be most familiar with right now. You can also be a maintainer for an open source project. That can be a bigger project like say Flutter or something, but more relevant to us are the smaller projects that we run ourselves. This is a possible role and one that is somewhat of a thankless one. You do it because you like it, but you really won't get any incentives to keep doing this one. And finally, you can also contribute heavily to documentation. It might seem minor at this point or at this time, but to any open source project, I can speak as a contributor or as a maintainer of my own project. Documentation is vitally important, both to introduce newer contributors and to general users. It's all the same. They will not be interacting directly with your source code. What they'll be saying is the documentation. So even this Hacktoberfest, if you find yourself contributing mostly to documentation related repositories, it is not something to be ashamed of. It is an integral part of the community and one that is very much respected. So finally, how do I get started with all of this? In open source, as a beginner asking for advice on how to start, you'd often get told on forums, on Reddit, or any other online talking place, you'll be told to find a free and open source software that you use, a tool like that, and then contribute to it. But what if you don't have this tool or don't even know how to find one? That's what I'm trying to help with. So the options that you have exactly as a beginner are open source events such as Hacktoberfest, GSOC, etc. Or you can find a project as I mentioned and how to find this project that you'd use. And finally, there's the option to be a maintainer, that is just to make your own. So in open source events, There's a lot of open source events around: Hacktoberfest, GSOC, MLH, other summer of course, and you can take advantage of any of them as a beginner. While some are more popular than others, they all have their specific time period, so you'll often be limited by those. And also, you should be aware of Git and GitHub before going on with anything else. The next one is finding an existing project to contribute to. You don't really need an event or some organizer to tell you how you're supposed to go about starting with this. You can take their help, but it's not needed. You're perfectly capable of doing it on your own as well. This way, you actually have greater control and awareness of what you're doing, to be honest. The best method is, of course, to find a tool that you actively use. Like, for example, for me, it would be Flutter. I actively develop apps in it. So if I were to say, for example, find a widget that doesn't really work well for me, or I discovered an edge case that doesn't really work, what I'd go through with this is I'd go to the main Flutter repository, create an issue there to show how it's not working, provide examples and source code to test it for other users. After that issue, I will then propose a fix, what I can do. And finally, after a few weeks or after a few days of coding, I can have that fix up and merged into the main Flutter repository. And that would be it. And while there are always some popular repositories to contribute to, you can also use some of many issue finders to find a lesser known but still active repository. There are many of these issue finders, and I can't really mention them by name. So for now, I'll simply link a blog that I've written on this, and it includes all of these links, as well as some links to existing open source competitions and internships. Check it out later on, but I'll mostly be talking about what's said in this here anyways. So what would be the benefits of participating in this community? There is always the achievement of having participated in GSOC, of having participated in any other mentorship event, such as the Linux Mentorship Fund, or MLH, there's the MLH Fellowship, or even Outreach. There's a lot of other competitions that I'll get to, but there's always the achievement of having contributed. You'll also have a lot of experience contributing to a project that is actively in use and will be used by many other users out there. It is, in some ways, the closest you can get to a corporate project without actually making a corporate project. It is also incredibly useful for networking. Again, I'll go through this with a personal example right now. In regards to Apertium, which I participated through in GSOC, I came to know a lot of my mentors and fellow contributors who were working with the project. And a lot of these were in other countries, like my mentor himself, Tino Didriksen. He was a citizen of Norway. And these kinds of international connections or this kind of networking is not something you'd be able to do with the traditional college infrastructure or the traditional college experiences that you have. Apart from that, there's always the personal interests. Some people say that they only participate in GSOC to get the stipend money, or they only go for outreach or MLH fellowship only because of the money that is there, or only because of these personal interests. Some people say that this is a wrong attitude to have. I do not agree. Any reason to get into open source, personal interest they may be, it is a respectable reason and something that is absolutely valid. So don't feel ashamed that you aren't some philanthropist contributing to open source simply because you want to. It is absolutely fine doing it for the money or doing it for any other personal interest that you have.